everyone. GM. So happy to be here today. Very, very excited to talk to you about the Vitruvio team. My name is Nick Kalyani, and I'm the project lead. And at today's AMA, what I'm going to do is introduce you to the project team members and give them a chance to talk to you, for you to ask them questions, and for them to tell you a little bit about themselves. So before we get going, I want to talk a little bit about how we are going about creating this DAO. As many of you know, there's been lots of different experiments with how DAOs work. Some of them have worked, some of them have not worked as spectacularly as you'd like. My approach to this organization is to gradually ease into a DAO structure. So we have all the planning, we have all the design, etc. But we want to proceed a little cautiously for a couple of reasons. One, there's a lot of moving parts right now. In fact, there's too many moving parts. And what we want to do is make sure that we don't get into a situation where we sort of delegate everything to sort of a decentralized organization. And therefore, that actually puts the brakes on our progress. So I'd like for you to think of our approach as being sort of semi-centralized to begin with, and then gradually move into a sort of decentralized approach as time progresses. And I'm not talking, years here. We're talking weeks, months, something like that. So we want to make decisions for decentralized kind of approach of the organization where it makes sense, and initially where it requires people and accountability, etc., to keep it more closer to centralized. But the important thing is we want transparency, we want openness, and we want everyone to be accessible and answering questions, things like that. So, for example, in the previous Discord, there wasn't much structure, but one of the first things I did was put a funds tracker on there. Now we've actually moved funds a little bit yesterday and day before, so I'll make sure that the funds tracker is up here also, so there's transparency. We've got the Discord really well organized now. We've got token gated channels, etc. So we are starting to put our plan into action here, and things are starting to come together very quickly. So what I want to do now is show you the DAO structure of how we are planning it. And I'm going to share my screen here and get that for you. There we go. All right. So what we have is a slight change from what was initially proposed in the Strategic Council based upon discussions, etc. You're going to find this time and time again. Everything is not static. We continue to evolve it as we learn more, etc. So you can get this PDF at the URL that's up there. We'll leave that up there for another 10 seconds, and then we'll take it off. All right, so let's start with the structure of a DAO. So just like, a lot of companies, etc., have sort of like a board of directors, etc. What we have here is a DAO council. So the DAO council consists of the leads of each of the 5 councils you see there. So that's 5. And what we'll do is we'll add 4 community members to that also. So that consists of an odd number, 9 total members of the DAO council. So we'll go into more detail into that and how the election process works, etc. once we've got that finalized. We don't have that right now. But the 5 main councils we have are Strategy Council, Ecosystem Council, Technology Council, Creator Council, and Marketing Council. Now, the names are fairly self-explanatory, but I want to take a quick, give you a 10,000-foot kind of perspective on the goal and the objective of each one. So the Strategy Council is where we take the vision, the mission, and kind of distill it down into more tangible kind of strategic objectives, or roadmap even. And there are 3 main teams. So the white circles you see are the teams associated with it. And each of those teams will have a lead and potentially more people on there. My guess is that for the most part, the team leads and the members of the teams will end up being community members as things grow. But for right now, we are focused on the leads of the councils because we just need to get going. Now, you'll notice that with each council, in addition to the teams, there's also a little call out called an advisory group. So what we want is for every team to have both community members within our community and also domain experts at large to be present in that advisory group to give us advice and make sure we make good decisions. So the strategy council is about setting the stage for all the other councils. The ecosystem council focuses on the overall ecosystem we have to build that includes partners, the community, what we are calling champions. So these are members of the community who excel and who step forward and do evangelism, etc., and represent the DAO. Also, the ecosystem council is responsible for targeting which events we'll attend and actually attending those events and planning our activities there, etc. So the technology council is where all the engineering work happens. So that's where the protocol design happens. That's where some of the platform dApps that I talked about just a couple days ago, like the Vitru Studio, Vitru Hub, Poet, etc., those get built. We have a small labs team also. We want to continue to innovate and move forward, so the labs team will work on that. We have DevOps, which is responsible for the infrastructure and making sure the validators that the protocol runs are solid, and also to guide the validators in the ecosystem. And of course, we have a security team. Security is paramount. We want to make sure that we have dedicated resources who are always making sure that the network is secure and all the apps are secure and there are no incidents. The Creator Council group, which is next, this is where we do all our interactions with the creator communities that are there. So we'll have programs to onboard them. We'll have creator-focused events, exhibitions, things like that. And also we'll have various different programs that incentivize creators to come on board and use our platform. So the respective council leads will talk more in detail about their councils. Last but not the least is one of the most important functions, and this is actually a new council we kind of set up. It was previously a team under strategy, but we decided it's better for the whole DAO if we have it as its own unit, and that's the marketing council. So the marketing council is responsible for content, branding, for sales, PR, etc. So that's sort of an overarching picture of what's going on. So today, what I want to do is introduce you to the team members. So what we've done so far is we've filled roles for the technology council lead, the creator council lead, the marketing council lead, and the strategy council lead. And also within the strategy council is an operations team. So we have an operations team lead, and the same individual is also going to work on the ecosystem grants program. So I think what we can do is just get started. What I'll do is I'll bring each team member up, allow them to tell you a little bit about themselves. I might ask them a little clarifying questions or so. We'll get through all of that, and then we'll bring everyone up here together and we'll take questions from the community. So if that's good, let's get going.